All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Overshot, a paintball podcast. Before we get started with the full house we got in here tonight, I got to tell you about Zana Sports. They are makers of the SF joggers, the Grind Air gloves. Their version 2 joggers just came out. We have Overshot joggers on their website, which you can go to and get. So when you go there, use code Overshot when you check out. You'll save 10% off your entire order. And we really appreciate when you guys do that. I mean, it's a great way to show support for the show. And we know you guys you've been crushing it. So keep continuing to crush it. And our second sponsor is Volcano. They make those sweet bags that you see people rocking. They're not too big. They're not too small. They're the perfect size. And for the guys up here in the Northeast, they know the winter's coming. It's about to fucking snow a shit ton. So it goes on your back. You're not lugging that thing through the snow. So their website is Volcano USA. And if you use Overshot 10, you'll get 10% off your bag and all the other goodies. But I'm going to let Waldo take it over because we got a bunch of cast from the TSXL Event 4 that just happened. So we're going to give everyone a nice little breakdown. So take it over, my man.
Perfect, guys. So just wanted to welcome everybody. We'll start, we'll go from what I see. We'll start with James, then Steve, then Julian, then Matt. Just introduce yourselves, what team you guys play for, which event, we have some guys, mostly D4 and D5 guys in this chat tonight. So just kind of go through your team that you played on, how you guys did at the event, and just a brief introduction. So we'll start with you, James.
What's up? I'm James Feliciano. I play for D5 Wolves and D4 Leverage. D5 Wolves came first place in TSXL, and D4 Leverage didn't place the where we wanted to, but we ended up being the series champs on this one, and it feels good.
Perfect. Awesome. And Steve, just introduce yourself, your team, and we'll rock and roll from there.
So I'm Steve Doherty. I play for Gator Gang. Gator Gang or Don't Bang. We're D4. We have a D5 squad. They don't play TSXL yet. We went 2-1 in Event 4, and we did not make the finals. So maybe we can start off with that, Waldo. What the fuck? But yeah, so D4 Gator Gang. Shout out to the boys.
Gotcha. So just kind of going off that and everything, there was a couple 2-1 teams that didn't end up making it because of the way we did the brackets. There were 6 teams. There's 3 brackets of 6 teams, so it was kind of close on point margin and everything like that to make it through. Julian's team ended up, just making in by point margin. So something that we're kind of looking in to kind of remedy that situation. I think a 4-game prelim would help out with that a lot. As far as doing 18 teams with APPA, 18 teams, you take 8 teams advancing. But I know doing 4 teams per bracket should try to doing 4 games per event should help that out. I mean, doing 3, you save some money on paint, but 4, I think, kind of fixes those, close situations. I know versus, 10 teams versus 12 teams, that 12 teams kind of, fixes that problem as well. So that's the first thing. That's Steve from Gator Gang. I know they have a whole army out of Apocalypse. And then we got Julian over here from Image fame, but he was playing with Immortal Kings this event. So just kind of go over the event for you guys real quick, Julian. Just introduce you and the team that you were playing for.
Yeah. So obviously Julian Chesky from the Image fam. Also play pro with Ground Zero Gold. Play with Immortal Kings. Arsenal beating. Just been around paintball for my entire life. So, got to know you from the get, and just really enjoy you. And obviously, this would be a fun round table for sure.
Perfect, man. Julian, man, a few words, but I'm sure he'll have a lot more to kind of come in, always in my ear about everything. So just a good guy to have around. And Matt, end it off with you, man. Introduce yourself, introduce your team, and talk briefly about how you guys did, and then we'll kind of wrap it through some questions here and some different topics of conversation on what people thought.
Matt Mazzella from East Coast Raptors. We're a new squad this year, actually. Played the D5, finished second to James and his boys at Wolves. We had a really good event. It was actually our first event as a squad. And we pretty much sailed through the prelims, but had a rough finals. Some things didn't go our way, and but we took second. We were really proud of that. So
Should be proud of that.
Perfect.
We'll be back next year to dethrone James.
I don't think James will be playing too much more D5 or anything like that. So
no, currently for the 2021 season, I'm D3, so I'm the worst D3 player ever.
Yo, you're right. Enough benches, dude. You can accumulate the points. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So first things first, I wanted to go off, and we'll kind of keep the same order going through here. Obviously, this can go off tangent, it can go off topic, but the first thing, I wanted to bring up, some of you guys are new to the league. Some of you guys have been playing all season. First things first that I kind of wanted to bring up that we brought up the last time we kind of did this, is venue and, no holds bar, whatever you guys got to say, go through it. So James, we'll start off with you. Just kind of go through the venue, long live paintball. I know some of you guys experienced the one field versus the two fields. James, I know you got to play on both fields multiple times. It's pretty much your home field. So, James, what do you got to say about Long Live Paintball and the host facility?
First of all, shout out Long Live Paintball. Shout out Jim Kim. I love that place. That is my home field. I play there 3 times a week. I love it. The difference in the fields, though, I don't know if there was different looks on the fields compared to the 1 and the 2 field, but I think the 2 field was definitely a little bit better in terms of the turf. But I don't know. The venue is always fine. I play multiple tournaments there, and it runs smooth. But it was different with having 2 Xball matches going on at the same time. Definitely wasn't used to that there. But other than that, ran smooth there. That's really all I have to say about it.
Gotcha, man. And I know, Steve, you guys ended up playing on field 1, correct?
Yeah, we played on field 1. First things first, shout out to Jim. Just like James said, that guy's the man. He's so dope. Long lives a great field. And I think field 1, it's not crazy, but it's on a slope. So once you get used to the different shots that you have on the top end versus the bottom, very slight difference, nothing crazy. But bunkers are great, fields well taken care of, decent turf. I would only say if the pits maybe were separated a little bit more, just from a table perspective, to kind of you got 4 teams in that space, get them a little bit further apart. I feel like the room's there for it. Otherwise, dude, great venue.
That's something that we could definitely, implement in the future, and maybe look at running a temporary net in between, the 2 sets of tables or something like that. So that's definitely good to bring up, Steve. And Julian, as a field owner yourself, as someone that's played and traveled the world, what did you think of the host facility?
Honestly, from this event and then the one I played, this event was my first event at Long Live. Both were great experiences. I feel as though the reffing was better this second time through. I think also this event, you guys had 2 fields running compared to just 1. So I felt as though everything ran a little bit smoother. I can't say anything for the second field because we have to not play that field. So beyond that, honestly, I really have no qualms with anything. Sharing the pits with another team close was definitely something that was interesting, as Steve pointed out. But, to that extent, we never ran into any problems on our end, so I don't know if those guys did. I'm not saying anything negative by any means. Beyond that, I really have no qualms. It was great. Again, the reffing was good, everything like that. I will say the only thing that's a little hard at times, but again, it's not on you guys, is having that target range with the metal pots and pans right there next to the one corner. So whenever that one video is going off, it's like it's a warfare going on the other end. It's like it's just some guy that's got his, Titman on like full auto, and he's like, look at how cool I am, and beyond that, that's the only thing in time. But obviously, you guys have to do that on the back end. But when we show the video immediately, that's the one thing. When I hear, I'm like, I'm gonna turn it off and just wait the next one. So, yeah, in the end, I thought everything ran smooth. Air, paint, all that jazz. We only shot, one brand of paint that, we'll see what happens with that when they change the name. But I think the only spare I had was the chronos at the target range, and the chronos that the near side ref had did not sync up, because I definitely chronoed in at like 270, 280, just because, you're always getting that fat ball and something's going to spike. And then going on the close side ref, like closer towards the entrance of like the actual long field, that one seemed to spike everything by like 10 or 15. So in the end, I had to turn everything down even more so just to chrono regular, and it came up like 270s. But then at that point in time, if I go to the other chrono at the field, then it's 280s. I'm like, all right, well, here it is. But just it's pain for you.
Gotcha, man. So that's something we could definitely look into, making sure the clocks all sync up and everything like that. I know there's always differences with, the big red chrono and then the virtual handheld. So maybe even just having a virtual handheld there could kind of, alleviate it and could kind of get it a little bit more closer to the middle there. And now, Matt, I know you said you guys are a newer team. I know some of your guys are old, Vengeance guys. So obviously been in the game a little bit. I know you had some guys that, play on leverage D4. So you had a good mix. So kind of coming into this, what are you guys a long-lived team generally, or is this, getting the boys back together? I mean, just kind of real quick, go through that experience too. And as far as, what you guys thought of the facility as a whole.
Yeah, we're going to be a long-lived team for the 2020 and 2021 season. So we're definitely fans of the field and Jim Kim and the team out there. So we love the field. Everything was good. I would say the only thing that I had that I would like to see changed is maybe paint the out of bounds line white instead of black. we had that.
We did change that the next weekend. We did change it to. We did spray paint it to red. Okay. Because of people's concerns there. Yeah, that black line is definitely hard to read. Had a lot of D5 newer guys kind of running out of bounds. Even D4 guys the week before were running out of bounds. So we heard that, made sure that it was bright red for you guys. That way you don't run out of bounds or anything like that. So as coming in, this is going to kind of go into my next kind of thing here. So Matt, being a new team and everything like that, just something. Now, were you guys playing? Did you hear about the D4? And then when the D5 spiked up, that was kind of your thing? Or how did you kind of hear about the league? And what made you guys try to jump in and do this D5 Xball?
We're a mix of guys that have played Xball and other formats in the past. And when we got together, we actually were originally going to sign up for the D4 event. But the way our schedules worked out, we saw the D5 event pop up, and it was on a weekend that everybody could make. And just based on everybody's ranking, from most of the team took an early retirement from the game, and we all came back within the last year. So a lot of our rankings are D4, D5. So it worked out that we had enough guys that were ranked D5 that we could play the D5 event. So saw it, took the opportunity, and it was a great event. We enjoyed it a lot. So we're probably I think we got one or two more D5 events in us if we podium, and then we might have to move up the ladder a little bit. So we'll see.
Perfect. Now, so speaking about moving up the ladder, we'll kick it off with you, James. Does your team, as the series champions, have plans to jump up the ladder? Are you guys, going to play D4 for another couple of years, like some other teams in the area do, or what's your team's plan, and then we'll kind of roll through and go from there.
Well, in terms of leverage, all of our players now on our D4 roster are pretty much D3 coming up into this 2021 season, which is going to make it's either we're going to make the bump up or the band's breaking up. And I hope that's not the case. I hope we really bump up and put the pedal to the metal and show them that we really are the best program in the East Coast. But in terms of the Wolves are playing D4 every event next year. They're going to have a D5 squad out there. They're really going to be killing stuff. Those guys put in a lot of work every week and very proud of what they do. I play for both teams, baby. That is I came from the freaking woods from those guys. I can't leave. Those guys always deserve. Sorry, I got people next to me saying, which team do you play for? I play for both, bro. I'm a free agent. I play for people who want to win. But yeah, that's all I got to say.
So, Steve, what's Gator Gang's? I know you guys got a D5 and a D4 line. Are you guys continuing with those two lines? You guys making the move up next season? What are your guys' plans for 2021? I know it's still early. I know there's events to be played.
No, we're talking about it.
I know
every
there's
day,
World
man.
Cup and stuff like that.
Legit, we talked about it every day. So, I mean, you kind of brought it up earlier with like the D5 Xball event. The Northeast is kind of like the only region where there hasn't been a good Xball league, like locally for us, like Jersey, PA, New York, like Ops and stuff like that is up there. So for us, like the only real way to play paintball is playing Xball, and 5-man sucks. So if we have like a D5 TSXL in that season, you're gonna have 2 Gator Gang teams signed up for that. I have another year of D4 paintball in me. We've got some faces that you guys are aware of. Like we have Tanner Tomasi that plays with us. Nation, everybody knows Nation. Those are our boys. Because we're kind of like Bomb Squad in disguise. We came up out of the Apocalypse program and we decided, like, hey, we're just going to kind of do our own thing. So now we play out of Gear Up. We've got FTP there. So yeah, we're focused on playing as much D4 Xball locally as we can nationally. And for our D5 guys, we really want to see a D5 Xball league pop up. So hopefully you guys can fill that void.
Absolutely. That was what our plan was. We kind of looking around at the other leagues and everything like that. I think my biggest thing has always been is like a D5 to jump from D5 5-man to D4 Xball is huge. It's a huge
We're
jump.
the only region that
adding...
doesn't do it the right way. Like if you go out west, those teams are so good because they start from the ground up playing Xball. So they just get it right away. Trial by fire. Just throw them out there. This is kind of how it works. And we need that in this region. You know what I mean? Can't have leverage thinking they're the only good team out of this region. We got to bring everybody else up.
I mean, I saw a 4'11" girl, shoot like 3 of their best players. James, where were you in that match? Did you play?
Oh, no,
were you even on the team, or were you on tempo at that time?
Oh no, that was the event that I played 2 points for the whole event. That was the 3rd place event. Shout out Ali from High Rollers for putting those D3 guys to shame. Oh my God, I have the video on my phone. I post it up to the chat every so often. It's just, how do you let that run through the lane and kill 3 people? It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
You got to bring your lane down so low. It's
good play,
too much
though.
of an adjustment.
It was just the field awareness and knowing where the bodies were. Amazing play. Horrible play for leverage. Great play for the Rollers. They took first with that. They played more than that, I think. But yeah, ended up taking first that event.
Perfect, man. So, Julian, your thoughts? I kind of even springboarding more into because you've been around the game a long time. You've seen, most of this, like Steve was saying, most of the region, 5-man or anything like that. Do you kind of agree with that? You've been around the game, you run a field. Do you think that D5 Xball is something that was needed in this area to help the growth? I mean, you come back from the days where there was like pro and then there was like amateur. There was like 2 divisions. So, I mean, what would be your thoughts on that? Do you think there should be less divisions or?
Again, to that point, when it came up, it was pro, amateur, novice, rookie. You had 4, and you had to find yourself within that 4. And back in the day, if you thought you were a pro and you tried to sign up, there was someone that was there going, no, I'm not pro. You're amateur. And you had to earn your way in. The leagues have made multiple divisions to allow multiple teams to field a team. ultimately more players playing is the best thing possible. So, I know that, PV leagues and whatever, any of that, I started playing before any of this stuff. So, when they came up with the ranking system that, made it all happen, as long as it works, it works. I'm not going to argue how it is, what is. I'm not saying anyone is bringing that topic up, but, more people playing the sport or hobby, because especially with COVID, the business, we can go on that. We talked about that previously. Being this semi-professional hobby allows us to, be active and do the thing. So as long as we get people playing, I don't care if it's with a Talon or it's a Titman, and we'll see what the new name is at that point in time, or anything. Playing is playing, and I think that that's, what matters first and foremost. I will say that, kind of growing up in that skateboarding, snowboarding world, having a true rookie division in which you have your first, one-timers, the first year, second year participants, that is truly completely different than someone that's never had the aspiration to rise above a rookie or something like that, and they get to beat up on little kids growing up. It's like the old fat kid at a skate park that can do a kickflip, but all the kids that are a third of his age can't do it. So, or two-thirds rather. The ranking system's figured out for what it is, and worst comes to worst, it just gives the younger kids a little more juice for the squeeze, and don't want to kick the hell out of the old guys. So I think anything that propels the sport forward, that's what matters.
Yeah, I mean, something's kind of going off what you were saying about as far as I think D5, because the other problem is, and I think, and James is definitely a product of this, is, there's tournaments that, like long-lived tournaments that he doesn't use the APPA. So you got someone like James that's probably been playing tournament paintball for 2 years or something. I think the lowest division, I think D5 should be literally like your D5 for like 2 tournaments, and then you have to go D4, because what ends up happening is, I mean, the separation from the bottom end of my teams that I had, and then let's say like the Wolves and the Raptors, that's a big gap, dude. There's legit D5 where it was 4 or 5 years ago is not D5 where it is now, where people in D5 can actually hold their guns now. It's not like they're coming out way like this and getting clapped. It's not playing scenario kids, first timers. But I mean, like I said, coming out of, Long Live has a little bit of that reputation, or where, because these teams haven't done ranked tournaments, that's why when they go to an EPL or they go to another league and play these D5 events, they're doing well because they have 2 years of experience playing playing tournaments versus a new team that kind of just comes up. So with that being said, I kind of want
I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I didn't know if I was going to talk over you. I apologize. That's why I'd say, you look at some of the Netflix specials like Friday Night Tykes that looks at football in Texas and stuff like that. I mean, those guys have sign-up lines, and they check a bunch of other parameters that paintball is not required to do. And I'm not saying that they need to do that, but, if these kids are getting put into a system at such an early age, whether you want to pursue playing in tournament or not to say now you're on a list, but you put everyone on the same scale, so then everyone gets to be graded at that point. Because at that point in time, you can't say, I know this dude, he's played forever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, hell, I started playing before this thing was even about. So, I'm ranked D4, but I'm not a D4 player. But perks of when I actually get to start playing events that, put me as D4, it is what it is. And then when eventually I get, bumped up and ranked, then it is what it is. But, I was playing when I was, 6. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Walter, down in Texas, their D5 events, if you've won an event, you're not allowed to play. They have that set up at Paintball Fit. So that way the lower divisions aren't getting sandbagged, because I think that's another thing, like you said, in D5. you got a lot of D4 guys, and you can have like 600 points in D4. So you just get some sandbaggers in there. Like maybe that's a way to kind of curb that D5 issue. Is hey, if you're on a podium, you're not eligible anymore.
600 in
Right.
season,
Once you
492
win one, you can't do it. Someone tried to get our way in at 499, and I was just like, "Nah, man, we're gonna." I tried to do something by doing 492 or below because after 492, you're yeah, Mike Arway. I mean, I was like, dude, you don't need to be playing. You shouldn't even be playing D4, kid. So like, you don't need to be playing D5 or anything like that. I mean, James, you really shouldn't even be playing D5, even though you normally ride the bench. But
I was gonna say no. I think I'm a little bit too. I've been playing D5 tournament ball for 2 years now, and I know what I can and can't get away with because they you know, and those kids aren't gonna watch the overslide. They're gonna stick out their bunker. It's weird compared to the D4 level though. At Long Live has some pretty good competition. So it's a trial by fire from when I started. Like I started with the G-Tech, fucking just not knowing how to do anything. Nobody wanted to play Snake on my team, so I went and then just blossomed from there. But definitely trial by fire. It's fucking but the D5 now. I don't know. It was definitely a walk in the park, and I don't want to. I heard actually some complaints that the Wolves were playing that event because me and my guy PB, long hair PB, murderer D5 MVP too. But I heard some complaints about us.
hey, man, it was within the regulations, and right now APPA is the best system we have. But always, Steve brought up some good points, like, hey, if you win one, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to play it again. Kind of going off what Steve was saying because he's brought up some good points. And any, feel free to anybody to ever jump in, just kind of maybe go like that, so we don't kind of step on each other's toes. But the big thing that we're looking to do, as far as, having a D4, having a D5, then a D4, then a D3. We even tried to do an open event. We were going to have it if, some teams opted to go to Cup instead, which I understand that, that's their choice and everything. But my biggest thing is if you have every level available, then you don't have these things where, let's say, leverage, your guys are going to rank up, your other line, your D3 line. This is the perfect example. So they're going to rank up. They might rank up to D2, right? Let's say they're ranking up to D2. If there is no D2 option in the area, what is going to end up happening is they got nothing local to play. So what could happen? Yep. Some of them could end up playing with some other D3 guys that haven't played a while. Now they're playing D3. Yeah. And then technically they're not sandbagging, like, they're just getting around the rules, or, we've known teams to take events off in the past. But then now that D3 division, all those teams are, have a less likely chance to win, let's say. And then, it's a little bit more sandbagged. Then the lower end D3 team, maybe they do that to D4. And then the D4 team, maybe it's the Wolves, let's say, they then play D5. So it just kind of trickled down effects. So that's why looking forward, we're looking to probably do, and, we've talking to, I mean, I don't know how many teams are going to play with the Brooklyn Bears. Maybe I shouldn't have had them sign up first. The last one, they have a good organization. They've had a good team for a while now. I know Leverage will go down with them, Jesters and stuff like that. But kind of, and we'll start it off with you, Matt. Give you a little bit more chance to talk. What is your feelings on that? On having, D5, D4, D3, and then what we're going to call, they have in the West Coast, they call it the Premier Division. We're going to call it maybe the Elite Division. We're going to limit it to, 2 current pros and then as many D2 or D1 guys. As someone that's in D5, I mean, is that something that's, something that you would like to see? So, that, there's enough steps there where you don't have to play, national events, or is your team, that's something you guys want to do is play national events. So Matt, we'll just kick it off with you, and then we'll go up to James up there.
Sorry, I had to plug my charger in, so if I get feedback, I apologize. No, I like the multiple divisions, but I do agree with Steve that maybe, if you podium, you have to move up to the next level. I think that keeps it competitive. So I mean, even if it's first, second, and third should move up, I don't know. But playing that D5 event, you did see there was some teams that there was a clear division of where teams fell. There were some teams that you could tell there was some skill differences there. I mean, when I started paintball, obviously, Young Guns was a huge thing, which I don't even know if that even exists anymore, Young Gun tournaments and stuff like that. So I think D5 is important for getting, especially newer teams involved in the sport. I think Julian had said that you want to get as many people involved as possible. So I think D5 allows that to happen because D4 is definitely there's some good teams in there. So, but I think if you do podium in D5, then it's probably time to move up.
Just to talk to your point, Matt, really quickly, like I think that is like the core principle of the ranking system. Like if you're winning, you're better than the other teams, like you move on. And then if you get to the next division and you're not winning yet, you're where you should be, then you work your way up that ladder within that division. Whereas now, like D5, what is it, 100 points, and then you go up to D4. So it is pretty tight. But I think it's just, again, you talked about it earlier, Waldo. It's like churning people through. So you got 5 D5 guys, you win an event, you got 5 D4 guys. So then what do? They go and find 3 D5 guys, they combine with 2 D4 guys, and then they go back through. And you're just like churning these guys that have like career-long D5 events. You know what I mean? Because the points that you don't get a ton of points for winning a D5 event. And then you need a ton of points to move up from D4 to D3. So like, they're just sandbaggers. And I think that hurts the integrity of like D5. Because again, once you're out of that, now let's talk about competition. But when we talk about D5, let's talk about educating and bringing people up through and introducing them to tournament paintball.
D5 sandbag.
So James, what is your feelings as a guy that's played D5 for 2 years and you're playing D4? So I mean, you've been to a ton of events this season.
Mm-hmm.
What's your feelings on that?
This is my full first season of full ranked tournament paintball, and I do feel that if you're excelling in D5, that you shouldn't be able to play D5. I felt that it was a little bit cheap that I was playing the D5 event, and even when I went out to the D5 EPL and we had lost that, the EPL is trash, but fucking, I still felt that it was a slightly unfair. At least at the D4 level, the points that I have played were very challenging, and the moves are crisper. So I assume as you move up the ladder, and in terms of the open, I would, if Leverage D4 wanted to join the open, I would play it in a heartbeat. Because at the end of the day, those guys are just another guys with guns. Their moves might be crisp, but I'm gonna get you one way or another. But yeah.
So with that being said, I know Longlist done some open 7-mans. I played a point, whatever. I let my whole team basically just get run down. But
there's nothing
we
wrong
won the
with
point. We ended up winning the event. I was like I'm the James of my team, play
There's
one
nothing
point,
wrong
take the
with
credit.
That. The water boy still
There's
gets
a lot
ring.
wrong with that, James.
There's the water boy still gets a ring. Yo, Dave called me a water boy.
Does your boy want to be on the podcast too?
No. I got Drew.
You want to introduce your friend there?
I got
Drew, your roommate?
Yeah, no, they're over at my house right now. We're having dinner and stuff like that. But I had business to take care of right here. Then I got Angelo, our D side tandem right here. Crazy together.
Yeah, introduce the starters, dude. Introduce the dudes you pod for.
Oh yeah, yo, Angelo, yo, say what's up, bro. Yo, Angelo and Drew Johnson right here. Crazy D-side killers. If you see them in your 50, expect trouble. Riverside Quake will come for you. But yeah, no. Skill gap is crazy. Like I don't want to say names, but I know a certain Spanish individual who's been playing paintball for a very long time at a very low division, and you should definitely move up. I know you've moved up before. I don't want to say nothing.
Any chance you played them in the prelims?
We definitely played them.
Wasn't he your team captain, dude?
He was my captain too, but I love the guy to death though. But that guy has so much skill, and his ability to coach, his ability to take some. Oh my God, the people that he started with for this event, when you first saw them in the practice, you were like, "What?" Ernest takes.
No, shout out, dude. Shout out. I'm going to say his name right now. Shout out, Ernest.
I said it, Ernest Rivera, yo, you are a hell of a coach, hell of a player. I love you to death. Don't take anything all the memes that I post and everything that I say, it's all out of love. Shout out Ernest. Shout out Tempo. Took second place with Tempo in the first to the second TSXL event. But that's where I end.
And didn't you shout out a team? Didn't you say, like, you stick your finger up to a team? I think their jersey's up on your wall. It's that blue one.
Oh, Leverage. Shout out Leverage. Shout out Leverage G4. Shout out Leverage G3.
Didn't you say fuck Leverage?
Oh, well, yeah.
Pretty sure you said that after you won.
Yeah,
and then you joined them.
I've also said fuck Tempo, and I've said fuck Wolves. It's all in the spirit of the game. Just talk the shit. It really gets in their head, because then when you're on the start box against them, they're like, "Oh, we want to roast this guy," and then they forget about the 4 other guys on the field. It's just all like, you ever seen Conor McGregor? It's a Conor McGregor tactic, and it works half the time. That's why we listen to music in the pits. We have a good time. It's all a game. You got to remember, you got to have fun while you play paintball. Otherwise, why are you doing it?
We spend too much money to not have fun.
All right,
bro.
so
hell yeah,
exactly, man, exactly, dude. So with that being said, we went through the venue. I know some of you guys were there. Most of you guys, I think everybody, but James, you played on the second field. So how was the experience on that? I know, no stranger to issues or anything like that. We did start. I'll throw it out there. We did start late on that field. We had a couple issues in the morning. But I mean, how did that field end up, working out for you guys? I know you guys played that field. I know you said there was some minor differences between one field and the other. That's with any event. If you've ever been to an NXL or anything like that, it's kind of the same. The fields are close, but they're always not the same or anything like that. So how was your experience on field 2?
So I don't think there was a difference in reffing, so to say. Everything ran smoothly over there. The difference mainly was in the looks. If you were on the top side of field 2, you could see perfectly into the inside snake lane from the corner as you came out. And on field 1, nothing could stop the move into the snake 3. But on field 2, you could easily eliminate the inside crawler on the snake. So it's just the little differences like that. It feels, since it's a 7-man field, but it was sized for 5-man for this event, it felt like the runs were a little bigger or the lanes were a little wider, but it was just more of an eye thing, I think. But also, I feel like since the turf might be slightly newer on that field, the slides were a little bit different. But other than that, like, the discrepancy between field 1 and field 2, you really got to like nitpick to find things. But
perfect. So
like,
yeah. No, go on, James. Sorry.
No. I didn't have anything to say.
Okay, so my next question is kind of a personal question. I know a big thing that's being brought up now with there's other leagues. I'll say it, man. There's other leagues going out there. There's for the players. I know NR is starting some stuff up. Kind of throwing a question, and I'll kind of start it with you, Julian. Is because I know you played the NRPL in the past. Our teams. Does your team, or you specifically, you can speak for yourself or you can speak for your team, are you guys more on the lower entry fee, lower entry fee, higher paint, medium prizes? Or are you on that all or nothing? We're gonna win, big cash money. But with that big cash money, it's more higher entry fees. I know that's what For the Players is doing, lower paying price. What is your feeling on that, Julian, as a player that's been around for a long time? We'll start with you. Do you prefer, the higher payouts with the higher entry fee, or do you prefer somewhere that kind of that middle range where things are kind of meeting itself? Because realistically, I'm just kind of trying to, this is more so for myself, for us to go in the future. I kind of price myself. We had better prizes slightly than all those other leagues. But now it seems a lot of these, New Jersey teams, they want that big bang for the buck, the high money. Hey, we won $5,000 for first place. But the other, 20 or so teams that didn't even come close, instead of being out, maybe $2,000, they're out, $3,000 or something like that. So, Julian, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, for me, truly, I don't know the final total of what we had to pay. We have the team manager that takes care of all of that. So in terms of the monetary give back, that's one thing. Truly, I think in the end, if we took second as Image to IEC and payout wasn't what it should have been for many teams that were there and all that other stuff. It's not about the prize money in the end. I think if you've got quality competition and you get to hoist a trophy or something like that, then it makes it worth it. If the prize money takes care of 3/4 of what the player cost would be, so say it's X, and 3/4 of your winnings takes care of Y, and you've got a little bit left over, okay, yeah, you signed up to pay for more than that, and if you only have to pay a fraction of that, then sweet. But this is not a sport in which you're making money off of. You're not going to leave the weekend and go, hey, look at, I got $50. Sweet. That's not why any of us are doing this. We love shooting people, and we love camaraderie, and we love the team, and blah, 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 blah. So that's why we do it. Or at least that's, truly why I do it. I didn't have to pay too much to play. Not that anything's paid for or anything but just in the end, it's all a reasonable amount. If you're, you're working, you're doing the thing, then you should be able to, afford to do the event. It's not an over expensive event by any means. The competition I've played, obviously this past event, I can't remember what division we played, 2 events past, the Immortal Kings, but it wasn't too much to ask for. I think I spent more on, private media than I did for what I paid for. But in the end, it was great. It was a great experience, and definitely, and this isn't PC comment, to, the last event, the last event, this one was definitely better. There were some things that, went better than last one, but, you guys were doing something that was different, and you brought people a avenue to play. So, there's a lot to it. We used to run tournament series with, fields on the East Coast with ECX, and when Outdoor Adventures was a field, we had a 3-field series. It was a 3-man and 5-man, held way back in the early 2000s. So there's a lot of flack given more than thanks, and there's a lot that goes into it. Long live, 1 field 2 events ago, and this year we had, 2 fields. We didn't play the second field, but, the 7-man event you guys had, did play that field, because it was a bigger field and blah, blah. So, there are some things that, James pointed out that, the looks are a little bit different when you go from field 2 to field 1. And to a certain extent, I think that, not saying anything negative, I'm saying, A lot of people got used to, a grid and this, that, and it's like, all right, well, we should be, 15 steps to this one and 20 to this one. Back in the day, and it goes back to that old saying, it's like, you used to have to dedicate a whole day to walking these fields. You had to walk, 7, 8 fields and figure out a game plan, and that was what you played. And you had to figure that out, and you had one day to figure that, and you could watch a couple fields, you had to put some scouts out and do the thing. But it wasn't, hey, let's go play this layout for a month, figure out X, Y, and Z and make boring paintball. And I think that's what, was really cool to watch on the webcam was you saw, people have a certain layout and, we were the recipient of it. There were some teams that, threw something to us that we weren't able to necessarily do right off the bat. So then, we got beat some games and some games didn't. But then there's the adjustments and how everything goes, and you see how the other team plays, and you get to, truly play paintball, have a little bit of gamesmanship out of it. So in terms of, back to your original question, the monetary value, I can't give you an honest answer of it because, in my eyes, it was a reasonable amount for, we took forth, but there wasn't a payout for it. But, and not that there needs to be, but I think that in the end, really just enjoyed the experience, to take that experience with my teammates and from the last event to this one was so much better. And just as a collective, we were able to grow that much closer. My teammate with GZ, Sam Telfer, and I was with our captain, Shandy, at, the first event I played, it was not what I thought it was. In the second event, that was the team that I was supposed to play with. And, not discounting any of the other guys, just, I'm fortunate to be a part of the Immortal Kings team, and that's where I had to hang up the jersey there. And, it's been a great experience, and, I really enjoyed my, 2 events in TSL, and, I knew you beforehand, knew Travis beforehand, blah, blah, blah. So it's a great experience. And I'm pretty sure I played against Steve and the Gator guys. Were you Gator Buds back in RPL a few weeks ago?
That is not us. That was a happy coincidence that those guys dropped that name, but we are the OG right Northeast Gators.
Okay, right on. But yeah, I didn't know, so I was like, oh, maybe I, had to play against these guys beforehand. So, yeah.
Did I shoot you like 30 times? It wasn't me.
I'd be that same guy. I'm someone that likes to let everyone know that they wear it, and then I wave at them when they look at me, and then I shoot again, and it's just how it goes.
Go ahead, wave your hand at me. I'm going to keep shooting you until you get the fuck out of the bunker and off the field.
That's right.
Yep, I'm going to shoot you in the bunker, out of the bunker, and when you stand and look at me from the box, I'm going to make sure you go, 100%. And I tell people,
that's the PSP 15 ball per second.
We're talking about shooting people after they came to the bunker, but meanwhile, Mike Arway got the overshooting penalty on Immortal Kings. We're like, whoa, what? What?
That was blatant.
I wasn't going to go there, but,
when you watch the replay, it was a little impressive.
Because it's not like
you got
Norway and leverage haven't been warned in the past.
When you watch the replay, it was a little aggressive.
Any admission of guilt is like you're really giving it there. You're like, okay, it was bad.
And it wasn't bad, but it's paintball. It's supposed to be violent.
Yeah, I'll say this. It was bad.
I agree.
I had to sit down and, I did this again. Because he did do it again. So
if you watch the replay, he does the little like, oh wow, I did that. That cost us our whole thing.
I'll tell you,
to go down 3-0.
That was a very good game, and it was a very I was really psyched up to play you guys, and you guys really played very well, and I can't throw any shade that way because it was a solid game, and top to bottom, it's just how it is sometimes.
I'll say it. You guys fucked our day up.
Wait, I'm sorry. It skipped out. I'm not being facetious. I didn't hear it.
No. I'm saying you guys really screwed our day up right there. We thought we took it lightly. We thought that, we're gonna come in, we're gonna respect our opponent, but we should win this, and then it just went bad. And then it went worse. And then it went really bad. And then just went to the toilet after that. You guys played a hell of a game. No.
Then these dudes were
no
sitting like
disrespect to you
this.
guy. Nail biting.
Maybe Brave could get the series title.
Yeah, we were sitting there till the lights went out. Till the lights went out.
I mean,
Jesus,
I agree. And
Immortal Kings had it. It was their day.
Yeah, it was. That was a very big game, and again, I only had been part of the team for 2 events, and you guys have deserved the reputation you get. And way back when 7-man was cool, our team Twisted Image was the exact same way. You win everything, and you love to be us, hate to play us, and it was something to have to play against you guys, because that was something that I grew up being. So I definitely brought my A game to that game against you guys, and I know that was something that obviously no one wants to concede. So we gave each other our all for sure. So it won't be the last for sure. So I'm not even talking about score, because honestly, man, it was 2-0 at that point, and when that point happened, if it didn't happen the way it did, then it's 2-1, and maybe it goes something different, maybe it doesn't. But in the end, that's how the chips fell, and you guys had to play with 4 guys and shooting one off the bat, and not just talking how it happened. 3-on-5 when you get
sends a snake runner off the break on a 4-on-5. Who sends a snake runner?
I was shooting that lane the whole time. Yep, that was me.
To James's point, you said earlier.
Who sends a snake runner off the break on a 4-on-5? You at least bump out to the God 1, God 2, and try to shoot your way in.
But he said it. He was like, you talk shit to throw the other team off their game. Like, overshooting someone is the same thing. Like, you shoot the shit out of them, and they're afraid to go back into their spot. Or, like, you're mentally just taking them out of the game because they're throwing their hands up after the ref calls them out, and they're complaining. And then you shoot them more because they're still complaining, right? And you just shoot them off the field. You walk them off the field. It's all tactic. But to bring it 100%. Back to your original point. What was that? Oh, you said 100%. Sorry.
I'm going to shoot you into the bunker. I'm going to shoot you out of the bunker when you talk to the ref. I'm going to shoot you then. I'm going to shoot you when you're walking off the field. And paint's free in my eyes. So I'm just going to just the hell out of you. Well, that's why I know when I get it. When I'm the last guy, I hide in the bunker and I make sure the ref stops people from shooting at me so I can get out, because I'm a wuss at that point. I had to deal with my dad, and I don't need to deal with the GPS stuff.
But Walter, you asked about like you asked if we're like, do we want to pay more for paint or more for entry? And I think like the core problem of that is like, one, fuck paint manufacturers for the way that they treat the East Coast with our prices. Like, you go play West Coast events, you're paying $25-$30 a case. We're paying $55 or $60 for premium paint at an event like that. That sucks. I don't know who to point fingers at, GI. But realistically, I want it to be at a point where there's like a happy medium. Like, do we need blind layouts so that you can have teams that don't have to practice for 3 weeks and spend, $300 a week on paint leading up to the event to then spend another $300? Like, is an event going to cost somebody like a stack out of their pocket, like, to be competitive? Or do you go to like a blind layout where you play for 1 weekend just to get your synergy up, then you go walk the field, and then everybody plays a blind layout? Now that takes money out of field's pockets, so it's like it's a difficult, middle ground to find. But, I think when it comes to pricing, I think our paint is too expensive, number one. And who cares about the prize money? Because it all goes back into paying the paint tab at the end of the day. We're all playing for the same reason, right? To say fuck you to the other teams that showed up and thought that they were going to beat us that day. And NXL is the perfect example, dude. Like, you don't even get your entry back. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you win the event, you don't even pay for your entry. Like, that is
Facts.
so
Again, IOU.
Asset, like I was gonna say,
Come
like
back
I
and
got
pay
second
more.
place
Come back
with
and pay
Image.
me again.
Yeah, second place at ICC with Image got us $1,500. That's $500 less than what it costs to pay.
cost for you guys to show up.
Yeah, and so I agree.
How
with
many
you when you
cases
say
did you
it's
guys
need
buy?
At the event, I can't tell you for sure, but it's definitely over 30. I will say, in terms of field owner costs and stuff like that, when if a field owner is charging you $25-$30, they're not making much at all. And I'm not justifying the higher paying costs. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. It's what it is. And the one thing about this sport
Sucks.
others and well, it's the hard thing that people have to wrap their heads around. Like, we're not playing football, we're not playing soccer, we're not playing any of these like single ball sports that cost $5 to $20 for a proper ball. You're shooting nickels every time, and let alone that layout. I was shooting the snake side for 3/4, 7/8 of my time. I shot a shit ton of paint at 5-6 bunkers. So, it's just the downfall of the sport that we choose to play a sport in which we shoot nickels at each other.
No,
and
I mean, you're right.
And
if we pay $55 a case, do we switch to a max 500 format and we take 5 pods on the field?
It used to be 120 for 1,500 paintballs.
Oh yeah, no, it was shitty back in the day. But I'm talking about
it used to be $10 for 6 paintballs, man. We're not talking about when you shot 6 paintballs all day and it cost you $100, man.
I'll tell you what, there's somewhere
to meet it here.
Our weekend paint tab is like $1,200 a week. It's insane.
We'll throw Waldo under the bus here. You could have made maybe a better paint deal because $50 for a case, $45 for a case. That's your high-end walk on the
That's not
People have to make money.
Fuck GI. That's GI.
People have to make money.
Bastards.
People have to make money. You don't go to your friend's shop.
I know they do. I just said it there.
No, I agree with you. I think
the cost comes into one thing, but it is what it is.
These paint sponsors need to step up a little bit more because they are doing it, right? Like APX, Mike Hinman, he does it right out on the West Coast. The WCPPL is the peak of what's happening right now. They've got 70 teams signed up. So he sells cases for $25. He's making his money in volume.
But they're so consolidated.
Whereas
they're so consolidated in that area. Is what it is. When you get that paint when it comes to the East Coast, that stuff sucks.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree.
He owns the paint company, so there's no middleman.
So it's not like paint companies just shit on the East Coast. They're not doing anything.
He owns he sells the paint. It's not. He sells the paint to Julian, who then Julian sells it to Travis to run the event. He's skipping those other 2 steps, which I think actually, going back to the paint, the biggest thing this year, and I've been to multiple events, and everybody can kind of go around and say it because I know, James, you played EPL, Steve, you played EPL, Julian, you played ICPL and all that stuff. I think what I've seen as a whole, and blame COVID or blame, I heard GI hasn't made paint in 2 years, and everybody's getting their paint that's been sitting in the warehouse. I saw that today. I don't know how true that is, but I think, and Julian even owns a field. I think in general, and people come to me, we try to get the best paint. That's why there were 16 different options to paint this event, because we were trying to find paint that was good. And I'll be honest with you, paint's not as good as it used to be, man. It's definitely not as good as it used to be. So we'll start off with you, Steve, because I feel like you're the most knowledgeable, and then we'll let Matt get his words in, and then James, the pod filler up there, can come third.
I'll tell you, right? So like, you've got your $17 ball, and your $17 ball is like your field paint. That's how much it costs them to make a case of field paint. And then you've got like a $22, $25 ball. That's their like tournament grade. So GI field grade versus like Empire Premium, 2 paints that you had at the event. And Empire Premium used to cost, I started playing in like 2005. It would be like $45 for Hellfire back then, whatever it was. It was the highest grade paint. And the fill was better. The shells were more brittle. Paint overall was just better. So whatever, economy changed, that happened. My point is, and you guys, you brought up all the excellent counterpoints with what APX is doing on the West Coast. We are aware of what brands have a foothold on the East Coast, Valken and GI. So what are we doing as players to go to Valken and GI and say, yo, you're all hashtag grow the sport and shit, but what are you actually doing to help the tournament scene like grow?
Yeah, I'll say it's kind of like being a skate rat growing. Oh, what's up, Sean?
I got Sean in the house. I'm sorry.
I even texted Sean and I was like, I'm on with James, so I don't know who this. I was like, I'm not on with Ren. I don't know who this is.
Hey,
all right, we'll let Sean talk for a minute. Sean, what do you got to say? I'm never coming on this podcast again. You guys are ruining me.
Hey, I love them yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
Stop.
Everyone welcome to the
Stop. I'm never coming on this again. You guys are ruining me.
Sean Henderson was supposed to be on. He was supposed to give us the big dark secrets of paintball.
Yeah. My point is just that the West Coast paintball companies are investing in West Coast paintball. What are the East Coast paintball companies doing to invest in East Coast paintball?
Nothing.
I don't see anything.
I mean, I'll say that, Mike Hinman he's a major contributor to the West Coast League. In the end, I look at that in this obviously constructive conversation, but, it's almost like the skate rats that when you grow up skateboarding and like, I could do a kick-up, I should get sponsored, just to wear the emblem or something like that. What are those players doing for the company? When, I was growing up and I had a good team, I was trying to get sponsored by Red. So I call Carmen Borga and I'm like, hey, and he goes, well, what are you doing for me? And it's that half and half relationship. Just because you buy paint doesn't mean that you're going to get something. So it's one of those, you have to work with someone, you got to build a relationship. And then at the same point in time, those teams need to establish themselves on their own to build the framework in which to get sponsored for. Whether it's winning events, and not just one event, but it's multiple events. It's a series, and having, for those guys, they're looking for longevity because you figure, you gotta, by the day when it was really the heyday of great paintball was 7-man. So you got a 7-man team, they're doing really well and they're rising up, and then it's like, okay, well, what's following those guys? Because I'm going to lose 3, 4, or 5 of these guys within 3 years. So what's coming up after that? What's coming up after that? And then those are the ones
I have
that,
a good question
they
for
want to
you.
make money off of and everything like that.
So I'll throw back, shout out Overshot. You guys were talking to free parking paintball, right? And that guy highlighted so well like what the problem is. And I think, Julian, you just commented on it yourself. It's like, what are these teams doing for these companies? But realistically, why does a team need a paint sponsorship? It should be TSXL, the lead, and GI Sports, for example, talk to each other. And Waldo goes, hey, I'm going to have 40 teams here. They're all going to buy 30 cases. You're going to sell this much paint. But I need to do something better for these guys. I want them to shoot GI. I want to put GI banners everywhere. And I want to say, GI is giving me the best paint. Pay TSXL because our paint's awesome, right? And like, I think that's the right approach. I don't think from a team perspective, because how many teams stay together more than one event? You know what I mean? Like, that's difficult as it is.
And so the flip side of that is think of your department stores. Like, you can sell Mary Kay at a Macy's, but it's not going to be Macy's and a Mary Kay. You're always going to have that field, and they need to cover their own thing. But there's going to be multiple people. Like, you're not in that. Like, yes, he made money off of all the paint because he sold it for X, Y, and Z. But really, out of all the paint that he sold, half of that went back to the company. So, a lot of people think like, oh, I paid, $40 a case, $50 a case. That guy's not making $50 a case, $40 a case.
No, he's making $20, $25. Yeah. I didn't allow the practices.
And then he's got referees to pay, a rent to pay, all this other stuff. So, like, the thing is, like, you know, people lose sight of why they're doing what they're doing. You know, if we did this for the money, we did this for this, that, and the other thing, that's one thing. But it's not. You know, people don't make money, and then they're like, well, I spent all this money. Okay, then go and buy a skateboard and join, you know, a skate club and then ride around. You know, go buy a $4,000 Cannondale bike and, you know, join a mountain bike club, and then your costs don't go to anything. You know, people buy guns from all these companies that cost anywhere from $800 to over $2,000 because they've got swivel butts in them. You know, they spend all this money, and, you know, I don't see Planet Eclipse writing someone a check for $300 going, hey, you know, when your solenoid blows, here's a new one. Here's your free O-ring kit because you did this, that, and the other thing. You know, they don't care. You know, you could, you know, I've been sponsored by multiple companies, and my team's been sponsored by multiple companies. And ultimately, in the end, when you out to them for paint and all these other things, I, as a field owner, and, you know, Waldo will say it, you go, they literally will look at you and go, what have you done for me lately? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I've given you how much business? Like, I run field, and they look at me and go, what have you done for me lately? So for a random team of 10 dudes that does something, like, they're not going to give you anything. Like, it is what it is. And if people think that there's something more, it's the illusion. I'm the guy behind the curtain, opening the curtain, going, I'm lying to you. So it's not what it is.
I know Matt wanted to say something about it.
No, hold on real quick. Because I want to give Sean a little bit of time here to speak. He's trying to jump in. He's basically choke slamming James right now to try to get on this thing.
No.
So Sean, what do you want to say about paintball?
I mean, no. Hey, guys, I appreciate this invite, and I'm sorry to crash the party. I mean, hey, I play with Julian Malcheski. That's my main nigger in the right left-hand corner. Yo, a boom. All right. Here's my funny thing about this. Like, hey, all of us are paintball players right now, correct? That's where we started from, correct? All right. And a lot of opportunities are coming here on the East Coast. Everyone's doing their thing. That's awesome. Here's my biggest thing about it. Like, we always talk about, like, what the field's doing, and, like, what the field's doing for this, or, like, like, how the industry's like, at some point, we're all paintball players. And I swear to gosh, on my bottom dollar, if you give me 2 minutes, I can sit there and bring up, like, a good scenario. Hey, paintball players, 10 teams put in $1,000. Maybe it costs $2,000 for refs. The paintball field makes their money off their paint. What it costs them, maybe $22, $25, maybe $30 a fucking case, right? Here's my thing about it. Like, even if a fucking paintball field charges $45 or $50 a case of paint, like, there's ways to make everyone win. All right. Everyone can eat at the table.
Mm-hmm.
That's my own philosophy. Like, hey, wait, when did we stop becoming paintball players? Like, when did paintball stop becoming a fucking goddamn sport and now a hobby? You know what I mean?
It's a professional hobby because I was able to open during COVID. It's a hobby, not a sport. That's what.
Hey, but like I said, man, hey, I was very lucky enough to, like, be at the cream of the crop, at the top of the dime, like, when paintball was there, and, like, I saw a lot of love from a lot of the industry, and, like, I don't know, I really think it comes down to minimal. Waldo, it's like watching The Mandalorian, bro. I'm waiting for second season number 2 to come out. What are you gonna do, bro? There's a lot of opportunity to make paintball players, like, they could have their shot. They could have their shot to make it. Like, I don't know.
Well, they'll bring hope to the East Coast.
Stop it, Sean.
You have a good point. Under all of that, it's like, how do we eat together?
What'd you just say, James?
I said Waldo bringing hope to the East Coast right here. East Coast people coming out
Well,
Jersey.
Let me snag this. Nah, like, get me out of here real quick.
James is out of here. Get him out of here.
James, no, James. James. One. Hey, like, here's my thing about it. Like, all right, so, like, I haven't been in, like, the Northeast area for 2 years, right? And I've been able to. I saw from the TXXL some gnarly ass paintball players become gnarly ass paintball players, dirt rockers. You know what I mean? Kids that sit there will put, like, $60, $70 each every weekend. All right. Here's my thing about it. At some point, paintball lost its fucking way to where they're like, I mean, hey guys, if you sat there and went to fucking go to a goddamn casino and put $100 on blackjack, right? And even when you won, you lost your $100, but you won 50. Would you do it?
Okay, no, you make a very good point, man.
I know. I'm sorry. Like, trust me. Hey, Tom Cole, the president of the Excel. Hey, that's my nigga. Yo, I love him to death. But hey, look, at some point, I mean, we lost our way.
We've been playing a defeating game from a long time. If you got in the sport to make money, you're in the wrong sport.
Where were you, Travis? Fucking 12 years ago.
Hey,
nah,
I'll show you what this is what $1,500 got me in second place.
Dude, hey, no,
That's
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, trust me.
It got me more reputation that Mike doesn't put, and you know this. You get the trophy when you walk into my base.
They could have gave out a lot more on that ICC, man. We're not trying to blow the top off the industry. It should have equaled somewhere.
Hey, I'm not a mathematician, but god damn, it's a beautiful mind up here. Call me Russell fucking Crowe. Like,
you use that line with me. You're not allowed to use it here. I'm feeding you cookies later.
Hey, Travis. Hey, honestly, you know what the hardest thing that I ever dealt with in like literally being up here in the Northeast, like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, was literally seeing kids that loved. Hey, trust me. Hey, that's the DMV, baby. South of Mason-Dixon line. All right, south of Ross again. Look, hey, all I'm saying is like this: the last 2 or 3 years, I would see some talented motherfuckers be able to fucking have the opportunity to be like probably the next guys that could like lead paintball into a further place. And you know what? Their parents asked me like, all right, where's the end game? What's this? What's that? And like, that's what literally like fucking, I think is like the most amazing thing or breaks my heart about paintball. Like, because here's the thing, like the money's there, the economy's there, and the talent's there. Why is paintball not excelling? I mean, like, dude, I'm a 10-man player. Yeah, I'm an old school player, but 10-man fool. Like, trust me, you should have seen me and Julian in the fucking woods. I mean, it was like the fucking winters of Capistrano.
I think and Julian could probably attest to it because the field. But I think one thing that I've noticed is that paintball has started to almost price out the new generation of coming in. So when you I know that fields have to make their money when you have woods ball walk-ons coming on. But if you're a woods baller who doesn't know much about the sport and you come and you have to spend $70 or $90 for a case of paint, it doesn't really give you any incentive to want to come back and continue to play more. Because when 100%. You start seeing,
I'll say I'm even in that price range. I'm the cheapest in Maryland for sure.
And I'm not saying I don't know what you're saying, but I've noticed like
I had to plug myself in that and say that's me with Route 41.
That's value.
It's fucking got it.
Yeah, I don't even charge that much because I look at how much everyone charges and I go less for that reason. Because I'll tell you what. COVID, everything like that. I'm the closest thing to Baltimore, and no one wants to pay to go through the toll, and everyone comes to me. I'm booked out 2 weeks in advance, and I do limited spaces and everything like that because of COVID. I take care of my customers because I want to see them again and again and again, and I treat them like family.
I mean, when
I see you, when I spend time with you.
Have you ever seen The Wire? Like the HBO flick The Wire?
Yeah.
That's the kind of motherfuckers that fucking
6 times over already.
Yeah,
the fields that I won't name fields, but fields that I started at. I mean, I remember when I first started woods ball, I was paying $55, $60 a case, and I actually just was talking to somebody the other day that plays at one of the fields I used to play at, and he was telling me they're charging $90 a case for woods ball. And
hey, trust me, hey,
well, you can't grow a sport like that.
Hey, as a sport
disagree,
pricing people out.
I agree.
Hey, Waldo, I was sitting there fucking playing 24, 27 points, bro. I blew up my leg, and I'm 20. Hey, I'm 33 years old. Hey, we gotta fucking change paintball from fucking being a soft ass sport to literally flag football to fucking tackle football. All right. Hey, that's all my point is, man. Hey, hold up. Hey, Steve. Hey,
Yo,
Steve
can
and Matt.
somebody buy you pants though? Sean, hold
Oh.
on. Can someone buy you a pair of pants? What are you
I've
rocking?
tried.
Bell-bottom?
He wore my
Bro,
pants
hey,
at
trust me.
Chicago, and he pulls his old dusty fucking Vulcan pants, and he's like, "Oh, here I go," you know. And every other jersey he's got under the sun. My man's got enough options for clothes that he just like, wait,
Hey.
what's my Goodwill bin?
I went to the desert on a horse with no name. Waldo, hey, I
Stop
played
it.
the
Stop
TSXL, and it felt
You're
great
not
to be out
James
in the rain.
Morgan. Stop it.
Nah, dude. Hey, nah. Here's the thing about it. Like, I mean,
There's
like,
better beggars
I
than
don't know.
you.
Like, hey, Steve brought a great point about like the pricing and what like the industry does for the fucking paintball players. And Matt, I'm trying to figure out like where your point is coming from. Like, are you on the paintball players aspect or like the industry aspect?
It's half and half.
I'm
It costs something to do things.
I think there's a happy medium. Like I think you could find, maybe for the rec ball players that are new to the sport. I know you have to charge them more because that's the bread and butter.
For sure,
Sean,
hit him on the head.
Sean, blow the top
price-
open.
the
What do you
price
think? What do you think's the problem? You think it's Richmond? Sean, you think it's Richmond?
No. Honestly,
Do you think it's James?
In Maryland alone, you've got an amusement tax that goes on top of everything. So anything that you do from your regular tax, you get taxed on 3, 4, 5 times other words. So you have to work everything around. So, the field owner perspective and the regular player perspective is completely different. Yes, sometimes you make something out of it and you make a little more, but really at the end, no one's getting super rich over this. No one's walking around. I own a paintball field. I'm doing the thing.
Hey, is this Steve Dot from Gator Gang? Is this Steve Dot from Gator Gang or no?
Yeah.
No, that's not. I'm up here with the beanie on, bro.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to come correct. Like just fucking like, hey, my opinion is my opinion.
In the background, fool.
Yeah, like this, man. Hey, all I say is words. You decide it, like if it's advice or bullshit. Well, hey, my biggest thing is like this, man. Out of this whole fucking year of paintball, if you look at the number one leader of the fucking goddamn industry, let's say fucking NXL, right? Wow. I hope everyone understands, like, how much like it really intakes a small like local field and doing their tournaments to one have development, one to keep the product going. And here's the funny thing about it. Hey, motherfuckers, you ready for this? Hey, the NXL needs our money more than then we need their fucking goddamn tournament. That's it. Like, think about it. There you go. Congratulations. Whatever the fuck you want to hear. Think about it. Hey, shut the fuck up real quick. Sorry. Hey.
As crazy as the point is, I agree with you.
I'm just saying, look, the player makes the game. The player makes the game. The game needs the player to be in the industry. That's the bottom fucking line. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. Excuse my
well, to your point before, you said we got to figure out how to eat together, right? Everyone's got to eat at the table. So if everyone's trying to eat at the table, though, I think that the happy medium for field owners is that you guys are going to get your bread and butter during our team practices, where I'm spending my paint tab every weekend is $1,200, right, in paint tab for my team, and I do that 4 weeks a year, or four weeks a month, and then at the event is where we just got to see better paint prices.
Yeah, I really gotta.
I mean, how much is better paint prices? I mean, like literally, let's talk about like a case of paint, right? All right. I mean, if you're going from GI,
I take anything off a team, guys. The way I run my field, and it's not even overpricing anyone. It's my groups, my walk groups, my treating cuts as well, and those coming back. That's how you make the money. Because team guys ask for way too much, and they're way too greedy over nothing. Same as I said in the beginning, show me something, and then I'll give you something. But otherwise, it's just a player.
What'd you say, Matt?
Yeah, I think Matt was trying to chime in.
That's kind of where I was going with that whole thing. So I know, as from being a tournament player, that fields don't make a lot of money off of the speedball players. I mean, you make money in volume, but you're not making the bread and butter is the wood ball players, the walk-on players, and I've noticed that part of the problem with the sport is that as the prices increase, you're getting
Hey, Matt, I'm sorry. Sean, mute your mic because everyone in the background is, blocking out Matt.
Mute everybody besides Matt.
So the problem that I see is that as prices started to increase in the industry, you're losing new players. So it's forcing people like Julian who own a field to start to increase paint prices to make up for that difference. Whereas I feel like it actually, as in general, the whole industry, people need to come together and try to lower that paint price to attract more people to the sport. It's like a McDonald's hamburger. McDonald's hamburgers are $1 right on the dollar menu, but they're going on volume. They're not going on
loss leaders.
That $8 hamburger. So they're selling
I agree with you.
4 times, 10 times the amount of a regular restaurant. And if we can get paintball to that point where, maybe the cases for a woods ball guy are back to $45, $50 instead of $90 on some of these fields, you're going to attract more players to the sport over time, which is going to help grow it. And Julian can make his money from more of that volume versus that one time.
So you have a great point, Matt. And I wonder from a marketing perspective, how can we turn paint into a loss leader where, you want the guy to buy a new gun and then come back every week. So instead of paint being $80, $90 a case for these walk-on players, use paint as a loss leader in some cases, rent them out the electronic guns, rent them out the better mat, whatever. I don't own a field, so Julian has better insight into this. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of a marketing and why we can't apply a little bit more of a marketing angle. And again, I mean, these are two totally different worlds. We're talking about tournament paintball, and then now we're talking about rentals. But
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You can't put tournament paintball with rec paintball. It's two completely different sides of the coin. And
I got an idea here. How about this? When you, Julian, because this is to you. When you do your business plan and your proposal, do you count getting speedball teams every week, or do you make your money and do your business plan off the walk-on player?
And that's right in the beginning. I make off of my private groups and my beginner walk-ons.
Okay.
My goal
so I understand.
is to make that first experience the best experience and economical experience. Because when I look at all the other amusement facilities around me, the bang for the buck is not there. There are those, yes, that do the $90 a case and stuff like that. I'm not even in that range because Sean, you can go away. It doesn't matter.
We'll let Sean in later.
But I get to be into you. But that's not the case with me. It doesn't apply. I've got some of the best prices around, and I'm 15 minutes north of Baltimore. There's a reason why people come to me over anyone else. And it's not that I'm outcutting any other market. I'm in a great market, and I provide a great service for an economic price. Depending upon where you are, what field you go to, it's apples and oranges. It's just all those other field owners and what they have, and it's their own thing, what they do. In the end, paint costs X, and when people pay, Y and Z, that's something different. And that's where, when I do my breakdown and all that stuff, when I'm booking a group, I'm giving them the most bang for the buck because I correlate it to them in another facet in which they would go out. For what you would spend in a night going out with your friends, you're going to spend half that and have twice as much fun with me. So I've already told you at that point in time. I'm not trying to sell you on the dollars you're going to shoot and all this other stuff. I'm selling you on the experience that you're going to have. And it's not, again, taking more money out of your pocket or anything like that. I am a third of what you're going to spend on a bar night with your friends, and it's how you correlate it. And the thing is with, tournament players are not the same because, again, it's a group of yahoos that are putting together to then go shoot a shit ton of paint. No one's going to show up to the facility, spend $800 to $1,500 for a gun, and then decide to shoot 3 cases of paint on the weekend. And guess what? That $1,500 gun is not going to break within a month, which they got to go then buy a new one. That gun they've spent that much money on is going to last them year 2, year 3, and then they come up with an update, and you replace X, Y, and Z, and then it lasts for another bunch of years. So that $1,500 gun, over the course of 5 years, maybe cost them $2 million at most, if that, and then their only expenditure is paintballs. So, there are so many X factors in paintball that people don't into the same aspect of, it would be to do something else. It's not skateboarding, what you're doing, a mini board slides and you break it, and now you got to go buy a new $50 deck. Well, guess what? Your $150 trucks have still lasted you. Your $100 bearings are still lasted you. Okay, so you got boards and wheels. That's what your expenditure is. And then you can skate around to your heart's content. So, you have to look at what is your expendable income in the sport. You're going to tear apart pads, tear apart jerseys, tear apart elbow pads. So there's all these different things. And then say you get sponsored by company X and they say, hey, I only want you to wear X, Y, and Z. Well, guess what? I, play for 2 different teams that have, different X's, 2 different Y's, and 2 different Z's. And then I'm personally sponsored by a couple different companies that make me want to wear X and Y and Z. So when I get to show up to these teams and go, this is what I'm bringing to the table, everything has a different turn of the coin. Going back to the same thing, like we're professional hobbyists. There's very few teams that are being paid, to have a career and do this thing that we all enjoy.
There should be less pro teams then. There should be less pro teams then.
And that's a different, again, like back to your original question. Open events are pro events. There should be 1 to 2 pro leagues, as there was in the very beginning, and that's your pro league. Just because you can pay to be pro doesn't mean you're pro.
If you're paying to play, you're not a pro. Sean, unmute your mic. Unmute your mic so you can go off.
No, I muted him.
Take your breath before you say something, Sean.
Hold on. Hey, did I unmute my mic, or do I got like parental fucking controls on shit right now? Waldo, what's going on?
No, that was me. I had to mute you.
I'm
No,
your
because you're doing a party. We keep hearing your party guys over there. We keep hearing James.
No, here's the thing about it. Hey, Matt and Steve. I know it's like this, man. Hey, trust me. Hey, we're gonna bounce back and forth between whew. I mean, Steve, you have your own field, correct?
No, that's Julian.
All right.
That's the guy that was just talking.
Bro, you should be partying as hard as I am right now with my crew. I'm joking. Hey,
Sean,
Matt,
I'm doing well, so stop it.
Yeah. Hey, look. Here's my funny thing about this shit, man. Like, hey, dude. Paintball has got to go back to the party. All right. It's simple things, man. Have a good time playing paintball. Hey, look. Waldo's sitting there doing the WTS, the TXXL, right? So we're playing 7-man on mechanical style, and they're also doing fucking what? I don't know. What 3.3, whatever the fuck it is for TXXL. 5.5. 10.2. Hey, here's my thing about it, man, boys. Hey, look, dude, I just sat there and went from a woods ball tournament, had a great time. All right, Julian's a nasty back player, right? Then we sat there and played fucking literally at fucking the TXXL. Guys, let's go back to making paintball fun. There's so many tournaments going on in New Jersey, New York, no matter whatever it is. Like, let's bring back the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I don't know who can afford markets.
I'd say it's the fun. And, in the end, it's the fun that comes to the game. And that is something that when you get wrapped up with the dollars and cents, you lose the fun of what it is. And that ultimately, Waldo's done something great with TSXL. And it's really hard to start a league. And this isn't a hand job comment to him because he knows better than that.
A great league.
But it's hard to run a league. And he took, punches the whole way through, And, he talked to me after the last event I played, like, how did it go well? And he asked me, how did this event go well? And honestly, I had no qualms with this event, and I really didn't have qualms with the other event, And the little bit of stuff that people did have qualms with, as far as I know, he fixed it, because I didn't have anything to say. He's not controlled son, so at a certain point when it starts going down, it is what it is. But, at that point in time, it's hard, and again, everyone wants to punch up, and, we are never entitled to punch down. So, gosh forbid if we try. So, a lot of people want to talk a big game, but there's not a lot of places or fields can, buck up or shut up. And all those dudes at Long Live, they did everything they were able to do. Sean knows dudes because I suck at names. So it takes me at least 3-4 times to, figure out a name. Hell, I couldn't even remember Travis and Dylan for the longest time. Just to throw that fun little quote out. But, everyone, Sean, you got to introduce me. And it still took me 3 or 4 times. And I still don't, if you put them both in front of me, I couldn't tell you which one was which. And that's, I only have so many peanuts that my elephant can toss around in my brain. So, this is how it goes. But in the end, this is a hard game. It's a hard thing to do. And when you try to, skate park to all these different skate rats, some you make happy and some you don't. The coping works or the coping doesn't. It is what it is. But in the end, there's a lot of people you're taking care of. And if he got rid of Proud's tournament paintball, he'd be a lot better and have a lot less headaches. Because all tournament players bring her headaches. Oh, why is my field not even? Why is it like, stop it? You're playing on turf. You don't even know what it's like on grass and divots and put mulch in and all this other jazz, or airball bunkers that were not even made of the plastic wraps that they're made of at this time. I played on the original air bunkers that were filled with water. And then after they were filled with water, then it was this cheap parachute area that we had to pump air in, and you couldn't even lean into the thing without it folding over you. And you only had 5 shapes you had to deal with, and tubes running all over. So, everyone's been spoiled as a clam, and it is what it is. They got, used to what they got into the sport for the love of the game, the camaraderie and everything. It is what it is. Okay, you got to pay a little bit more. So win, make a little bit more money, sell the guns and all the gear you get, and then that gets you to the next event, the next event, and the next event. Well, if you didn't win, you didn't get all this gear, then guess what? You paid. Then you got to pay again, and now we got a ranking system, so you don't get gypped as much, and whatever. You get 1 or 2 guys to help bring some young kids up. All right, it is what it is. But you know what? Then make a league where say, hey, I only want D3 players in this D3 league. I only want D2 players in this D3 league. Vice versa, whatever. Help them grow into the sport, and you make these, separate divisions. They did for the 7-man. Open division.
I want everybody. Everybody come play XL.
Hey.
That open division had players that were pro and all this other jazz, and that's just how it
shit
rolls.
is about to get so fucking weird. Can y'all hear
Let
that?
Matt talk real quick.
Hey, is my mic
Which is
on
why
right now?
Waldo and I get along so well, because I show up and go, hey, I have a question. Can we do this? X, Y, and Z, and talk to him calmly, because he knows I'm not coming at him like a jerk-off paintball player, like, why does my light socket? Why is this not working out right? Hey, can we just talk real quick? Yeah, okay.
Well, kindness goes a long way.
Well, I think to your original question about the entry fees and all that stuff, in my opinion, I think you're doing it right now. Like, I think it's not about the money for winning. So I think if the first place prize is enough.
Let Matt talk, and then you could talk, Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muffled. I'm sorry. Hey.
I think if the first place prize, honestly, is enough to, cover some or close to all of the first team's expense, I don't think anybody goes into the tournament looking to make a profit or to come out on top with anything. Like we got second, we got $500. We were happy to have $500 and cover half our paint costs. You know what I mean? And get second place. So I think the lower entry fee with the medium price. I mean, everybody else could disagree with me, but I think that lower entry fee with kind of the mid-range prize is the best thing you could ask for. I mean, I saw there's another tournament right now. They're doing a $1,000 entry fee with bragging rights as the prize, and that's kind of like, I don't know. I'm all for
EPL.
bragging rights with $1,000 entry fee to get nothing. In
We did just throw them under the
No,
bus.
man, hold
That's
on,
EPL.
dude. You get pictures. Pictures is one of the prizes. You get
Yeah,
a
pictures.
trophy cup, a picture, and a medal.
Come on, man. Like,
It's
I would
not
be
all
so-
on one line.
I would be so happy if first
If you
place's
wanna do-
prize was just your paint tab paid. Like that would, if that was the prize, like we pay your paint tab for first place.
yeah, like that.
That's all I
honestly,
need.
That's probably the best prize. Honestly, I agree with Steve. Like so if you're gonna do
D4 was a little bit better than that at the last TSXL. Done.
Are you sure though?
Yeah.
I am positive. Unless you were Philly Savages and you shot 55 cases.
I mean, we shot 40 cases and we played 3 games.
Hey, don't be getting too weird. I know you're on Staten Island, dog. Wu-Tang is here forever. Look,
Hey,
they're about to
we
start
shot a
coming
lot
down.
of pain as Immortal Kings. Promise you that. We definitely padded that one, and I carried that odds a game.
Hey.
Guaranteed. I shot a lot
Shout
of
out to
pain.
the layout.
Hey, no matter what the money is you put on an entry fee, right? Do you guys think the fourth place, or like, let's say you put in $100, right? If you're fourth place, you know what? Out of 14, 16 teams, I think fourth place should at least get their money back, right? That should be the precedent on the East Coast. Fourth place gets your money back.
Third place? Come on, man. Fourth place.
I think they're
Fourth place should get a box of pods.
God damn, wait.
I think they're
Waldo,
third place should be.
I mean,
Hey,
a box
Walter,
of
can you
pods,
hear me?
that is entry.
Third place should be your entry fee back. I think third
Third
place should
place,
be entry
hey.
fee. And
So you're
then,
doing the top
work
three,
up from
right?
there.
The top three.
Yeah, top 3. First place gets your paint tab. Second place,
I mean,
you get
hey.
your entry and a little bit of your paint. And third place, you get your entry back. Because, like we
I
said,
get it. I get it.
nobody's
I
here
get it.
for making money. It's just about how do you
Everyone
grow the
Henderson
sport.
is.
Well, like I said, man, let's have a fucking party, guys. Like I said, man, hey, the best times of my years were 8 years, the fucking 7-man. 2002, I don't know, 2002 to what? I don't know, 2009. It was gnarly. DC Arsenal should have been there, bro.
So
Because you could be hung over as shit
We
on
all
the back
didn't
line.
have
And you didn't
time
have to
for it,
move.
man.
What's up?
We all didn't have time for it, man.
Yeah, I get it. Yo. Hey, East Coast.
Hold on,
Paintball
though.
is own- What's
Sean,
up?
you want it to be more of a party. So are you more on the, because you're from that 7-man vibe. So the party, I mean, so if we just paid you in cases of beer, I think you would be happy, right? We
Hey,
could just
trust
give
me,
you
here's
pizza
one
and
thing
beer
about it,
as
bro.
the prize, and you would be all right with it because it's
Not
like a
even
party.
pizza, man. Hey, dude. Hey, bro. I'm straight organic, man. I'm straight organic, dude. I like fucking
Okay.
vino. You know what I'm saying? Like nice classic vino, olives, wine. All right, and then sure. Give me fucking
Perrier.
cheese and fucking egg. Give me fucking cheese and fucking bread. I'll sit there and kill more motherfuckers you ever fucking killed in your life, dude. Wu-Tang.
You stayed with me the night before. It was Heineken's and s'mores. Stop this wino and cheese thing.
Hey,
It was Heineken's
guys,
and s'mores, and I had you.
Hey,
And
here's the thing
sold.
about it. Look, hey, I just want you motherfuckers to know, like, look, the only reason why I came on this podcast right there, because it's a blessing, okay? Because literally, Waldo, we've been Jedi mind tracking fucking each other for a long time. And like, dude, you know what? At the end of my life, the one thing I want to do at the end of fucking literally 2020, I mean, the worst year of all our lives, dude, it's a fucking honor to be here and talk to you motherfuckers, all right? Trust me. Waldo, you were, hey, dude,
Hold on,
I
dude.
blew
It
out my
wasn't the
knee.
first year of my life. I mean, we got the podcast, and look at this. Look at the statistics. Look at NEPL, look at Foxball. Look at my league as a first-year league.
Hey, homie. all
The
I'm
numbers
saying is
speak,
like
man. I had 18 D4 Xball teams, and
this.
boom.
Wakanda.
But dude, hold on though. Hold on. Preference. My D3, I only had 4
Bro, that
teams,
was
but
a
we're gonna
fucking
work on that,
hey,
man. We're gonna grow it. I had D5
no,
sold out.
Hey,
So
hey, homie.
I'm coming for the Northeast
Bro.
title. I'm coming for every league. Coming from what?
Look, hey, let's combine our fucking powers, man. Hey, let's go 7-man, 5-man, 10-man, weird man. I don't know. Let's just Hey, I think we
Seven.
can keep this party all
Seven.
together. You know, hey, we got Steve, we got Matt, we got Waldo, we got Julian, we got Travis, we got fucking Julian, and we got Wakanda. All right, I mean, we can do this early every fucking weekend, boys. Shit's about to get weird here, fucking on Northeast. Hey, Northeast fucking people, you motherfuckers don't even understand. Like, here's the fucking God. Hey, I need another fucking goddamn beer. Hey,
Wait,
look,
dude, I thought you drank wine and cheese. Where's the wine and cheese?
hey,
Now I see
homie,
Stella's.
hey,
Whatever
hey,
you
dude,
got.
dude, bro, I got a super fucking secret, dude. I'm going to Germany, bro. Yeah, I got 14 days here getting fucking literally blessed wine, clean. All right, homie, I'm coming back here running a 7-man after you fucking do your 5-man. And you know what? Hey, literally 2022. I think between
22, bro. You're way in the future, dude. What about 21?
You think we're all gonna make it? You think we're all gonna make it, bro?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I
we got-
made it a lot further than I had to, and you know the world's gonna end when Waldo's got the best Xball League in the Northeast. So I'm coming for everybody, dude.
Well, like I said, man,
You
I'm
didn't
like,
like me
wait,
then,
wait.
you won't like me again.
hey, homie, hey, maybe I'm too jazzed up right now. You know what? Because, hey, bro,
You are.
I had a great time with your fucking tournament, right? But hey, here's the funny thing. I play paintball with this. If we're doing like the Brady's thing, it's like the guy at point over here, down to the left, Julian Malachevsky. 10 minutes coming back. Ground zero silver. Hey, ground zero of gold is gonna be on point. All right.
Dude, I said you already demoted yourself to silver, dude. Dang.
No. Dude, hey, trust me. I'm so fucking loose as a goose, fucking fast as a boost. Mau. Wow. Hey, let's run it.
Gotcha, man. So bringing it back. You know, we went off track, but that's what this podcast is about. I'm gonna kind of shuffle off to maybe another question or another thing that we kind of did. So we've had the live stream on and off the past couple events. You know, we've listened to Sean for a little bit. So Sean, you can go a little bit last.
About to get real
Steve,
weird.
what did you think of the live
Baseball.
stream? Is
I'm
that
from
something that
Virginia. We ain't shit to do but cook.
I love the live stream. I love that it's put out for free. I thought the
Check this
quality
out.
was really good. Multiple camera angles, like live switching and shit. I was hype. I had a one-on-one win that got captured on the live stream, so that was dope to like watch that back.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty dope, and yeah, like I think that's the kind of stuff that provides value to TSXL over other leagues. And like you see people propping up and doing it, like NRPL does it, FTP's going to do it. And again, we're just coming up with ideas that are like providing value for the players. You know, everybody wants to hire a photographer for an event. They want to go back, they want to watch the live stream and see how good their team did. And, you know, video is, to be honest, one of the best tools to get better at paintball. You watch yourself on video, you pick up on things you didn't see. You've got commentators who are commenting on your team and their perspective, and you're like, oh shit, like I didn't even think about that. But like that's just, you know, Frank Connell on there, like, you know, he's a smart dude, knows a lot about paintball, talking about your team. That's pretty awesome. So I thought there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah, I agree. I actually
on
watched
the Frank comment, right, Julian?
I actually watched
Come see me
the.
in the weight room, Frank. He's got a little fatter with the dilly donuts.
Yo, they're a supporter, dude. So we love Dilly Donuts.
Oh, I know. I get to know Frank.
Yeah, James, what did you do
so I
to
can
us,
say
bro?
that to him.
Yo, bro, I apologize.
You stood there in the wings and let it happen.
Yeah.
No, I
watched.
didn't.
You
Yo,
allowed it.
I literally got like
We got him on there, Dilly Donuts, baby. The Overshot Factory.
Yeah.
Well, you can't throw some weight
Donuts,
comments
shout
at
out
me and
Overshot
then not
Factory.
provide me with some dilly donuts. So
Shout out, not
he's
Sean.
got to keep up with my cookie dealer because that's my guy that's going to put my COVID-20 on.
So James, what did you think of the live stream?
Oh, this very entertaining, very good, very informative. Shout out Overshot Paintball Factory. Shout out fucking Tri-State Xball League. Amazing podcast, yo. And I apologize for the Sean Henderson episode, but this might be the most viewed. This might be the most viewed episode.
What do you think of the comp paintball live stream, Mister? I have the comp paintball banner behind
comp
me.
paintball. Comp paintball. Oh my gosh! Shout out Bob Howe. Comp paintball always does a very good job with the live stream. I mean, his commentary could use a little work. He could have people like me on there. The most electrifying man in sports entertainment. But
that's a good point. He should pull people from teams and bring them on the live stream and ask questions.
Hey,
100%.
I'll say I was definitely nervous in coming on with. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll shut up.
Keep going. I don't know.
No, I was gonna say, like, I was like, oh, putting two teams on. I was like, oh goodness, this may go. Who knows? But it's been great. So no way to be thrown by any means. So definitely respect, between both teams. But obviously, we had to face each other, and it definitely was a hard fought battle. So, I give credit. You were the first one that had some time in on, and you were very respectful. So I have to only meet you with the respect because I got nothing negative to say.
You always have to respect your enemy. Like when between the nets, it's all battle. But after that, you should be able to hug it out, shake hands, and talk about it afterwards. Like there's no animosity after that. But in between those nets, I don't know you.
Yep. Yeah. No, we're friends off the field, not friends on the field by any means.
We're friends after I win the tournament. Then I'll be friends too.
Yeah,
that's my motto.
If I lose to you, best believe I'm gonna be salty about it while I shake your hand, though.
I won't ask Travis, dude. I won't even do it, and I will be very mad if any of my players do it either. But I mean, that's just how I roll. Jamie. I mean, dude, listen. I want to win, dude, and if we don't. I don't say good game either. That's like against my philosophy, saying good game. If you're wishing the other team good game, like, what are you doing, dude? I don't know what people's thoughts are on that, but I mean, I will never wish the other team good game. That means like I don't know. I see that as like saying like I'm gonna get a bet. Yeah, dude, 100%. I can't do that. I can't do that.
I'm here to win. I don't want you to have a good game. I want you to go out there and shit the bed. I want you to go out there and play the worst paintball you've ever played. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Yo, it's funny that you say that. I was on the sidelines. We were 3-0 on a team. The other team's walking past me on the sidelines, and I yelled out right in front of them on purpose. I'm like, put the fucking dagger in him. Like, kill him right now. The dude turns around and he's like, isn't that a little bit much? I'm like, no, don't be a fucking pussy. Like,
step on their neck.
We're at war.
No, step on them every chance. Oh my god,
step on their neck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you the game that I was most up for is when we play guys, James. That I was I really try to channel everything I could into that game, and obviously what happened, but
PCU.
Yeah. Sean was there cheering me on, so you could throw any shade his way, because he definitely was cheering me on for sure. But yeah, no.
Something that kind of came up.
It's a hard-fought game.
Sorry. So something that kind of came up, actually, because I got Facebook kind of a message just came up. So for the series, James, you kind of saw it. So for the series championship, we had a big trophy in addition, to the World Cup entry and stuff like that. Someone did bring up, I know the NXL does rings and stuff like that. What is your guys' opinion on instead of a series trophy, maybe doing series rings or series rings in addition to the trophy that everybody could.
Rings are cool. I mean, rings are cool. We kind of have in mind to get the series trophy replicated so each of us could have it. But a little memento for each player would definitely be cool if you win the series. But for us, it was just the experience. That any accolade after that is cool. But the series,
I'm gonna let you know this. I'm not gonna do rings. I will not do rings because I did it one time for my Woods Ball event, and you know, I don't wear
Everybody
rings,
has
so I
different
think I
size.
got like a woman 6, and like dudes are like, nah, it ain't fit, that'll fit my pinky, dude. So I'm like,
barely.
I don't know. I didn't think people were gonna wear these things. I thought they would just put them on their mantle, but I got a bunch of complaints like, yo, they ain't the right size.
I think I like the plaques that you guys give out, Waldo, for the event. Yeah, those are nice.
Like that one?
Yep.
like this one right here. Shout out PB for giving me this as my homecoming gift because I moved out. This is a nice thing to put up on the wall.
Shout out
These
to
are
2KE
actually
graphics that design
yes,
those.
very well made too. Very well.
Waldo actually reached out to him and got the other ones done. I just got them today.
Oh hell yeah!
Perfect. And I know Leverage is looking to get a whole bunch of them, so I'm just waiting for him to get back from his camping trip.
Yeah, I ordered them for the rest of the Raptors guys so that everybody could have one. They're cool. They don't know that yet, but they're gonna find out on Sunday.
Breaking news! Everybody on the Raptors.
Perfect. Good thing it comes out on Tuesday.
I still can't believe what I'm flabbergasted with Sean or whatever, the Wu-Tang and all that, but whatever. Guest appearance with Sean.
I'm sorry. I have a lot of
surprised by
players.
Sean and Sean.
No, I know.
I'm gonna have Keith Brown here next week.
Julian, DMV, there's levels to this shit.
James, just give him a punch, left hand punch to the nuts. You know,
Yeah,
just give him the.
dude, just drop him off at Jim Kim's house. Make him. Isn't that Jim Kim's problem, is Sean? How did you get pawned off with him?
I think he's gonna stay over at my house or something like that. You know,
He's coming down to my house on Sunday, so gosh knows what I got to deal with at that point. We should do another podcast. Here's me
my house
retaining
is
Sean.
the closest to the paintball field. My house is like 20 minutes away from the field, so I got no problem letting greatness stay over at my crib at any time. If he drops some knowledge on me that I could use, I'll use it.
He'll give you party knowledge, but not playing knowledge. I spent too much
I don't know
time
that.
there.
Did you see him play for PC?
I did. I got to be on the receiving end of it too.
Penalties.
Yeah. Yes. No. You know, penalties. You know, it happens. It happens. But other than that, his play was amazing.
Strong.
He claims he played the best paintball he played in his life, and he played very well.
We'll tell him it really should have mattered about 2 weeks ago when, we're out in Chicago. This motherfucker was trying to find his feet at that ground.
Oh, shit. They talking shit, Sean.
Why would you do that? Why would you say
Why'd
that?
you do that?
He's my boy. I can throw that to him. He knows I'm kidding, too.
So yeah, guys. I mean, we're approaching on the 2-hour mark here. I thought it was definitely a good time. I want to appreciate all you guys for coming. Any last parting words from any of you guys? We'll start up with James and Sean up there. If you guys want to shout out your sponsors or anything like that, and then we'll go over to that gun that we're seeing jammed in our face. You could just keep that there, Steve. You'll go second.
You want me to hold
But
it up
James,
the whole time? I'm just saying,
do all
bro,
your plugs, dude.
All right, I'll do
Looks
my
like a
plugs.
nice
I'm gonna
DSR.
shout out. I'm gonna shout out my boys.
I want to first shout out Leverage D4. Leverage
stepping
D4.
on it.
We're coming for World Cup Series champions, D4 Xball champions at Tri-State Xball League. Coming for World Cup. We're coming for you, Riverside Quake. You hear this? I'm coming for you, Matty Boy, Matt Horton. You're gonna get killed off break. I swear to God on my mother's life. I want to shout out Wolves. D5, D4. You guys are the next coming killers up on the East Coast. I want to shout out Comp Paintball. Go get your gear at Comp Paintball. Shout out Overshot Paintball fucking podcast. Go use code Overshot on Dizana and Vulcan, bro. Go use Overshot freaking code. You should get a transfuse code because transfuse is the stuff right there.
Hell
all right?
yeah.
And then
Fucking
buy
right,
HK
transfuse.
Army also.
Use code
And
High
then-
Rollers for transfuse.
Use code
For
High Rollers for transfuse, but wait till Overshot gets one. All right.
That,
Slash leverage slayer. I think it's High Rollers / leverage slayer.
It's High Rollers Leverage Slayer. But also follow me on Instagram, James is Beautiful, for the best content that you'll see. All right. Boom. That's all I gotta say.
boom.
Off to the next one.
All right.
All right. Yeah, Steve, now
I'll
your
step on
turn.
it
Show us what you
again.
got.
Gator Gang, one more time. Gator Dan or don't bang. Shout out to the boys. Brian Reese, Frank Wamsher, Graydon. I can't say your last name after all these fucking years. Brandon Lewandowski, Nation, Tanner Tomasi, George Esterlane. Those are the boys out there, doing the thing. Jay Youssef, that's our D4 line for the most part. Those guys are fucking amazing. You grind with people every single weekend, so I just want to show them appreciation. Brian Reese has a 16-person passenger van. He puts us all in that motherfucker and drives us everywhere, right? So we show up squad deep to these events. Shout out to Gear Up Paintball, our new home. Shout out Apocalypse Paintball for all the good years that they gave us over there. Hedrick's a great
Turf?
guy. Yeah, the Smurf Turf. Miles is great. Shout out to you guys at Overshot for doing everything that you can to grow the sport, which is dope. And shout out to the future teams that are going to get shit on by the Gator Gang. Like I said, bro, Gator Gang or don't bang, we're coming.
No, awesome, dude. All right, Matt, you're up, dude.
Shout out to Along with Paintball, of course, and the Raptors team. We got Ian Wallace, Drew Hansen, Nick Heck, Nick Furka, and Anthony Randazzo. And then, of course, my boy Andy Simentachi from Leverage. He played with us on the last event. Oh, don't make that face, James. You love Andy.
I love that man. That man's my guy.
So
Definitely a better pickup than James.
yeah. And then shout out to Overshot, TSXL, and Volcano 2. I actually just ordered that new fire black camo pack yesterday using the Overshot.
You better have used
Overshot 10. I did. I used Overshot 10.
Let's go.
So I had to get that. That was a fire pack. So definitely pre-ordered that. Then thank you guys very much for having me on the show.
Oh, dude, no problem, Matt. Yeah, and that camo bag is fire. And wrap it up with Julian, man.
I have too many, so bear with me. So with
Don't forget
Immortal
Ultra
Kings,
Stuff this
I wore the shirt. Thank you. Figure out. So Caesar is the man. So for your boom treatments, whether it's actually getting the product onto your gun or the lube or his new oiler, which helps for all the moving parts, definitely reach out to Ultra. Thank you, Travis. I really appreciate it. Obviously, Straza BC helps us out with Immortal Kings. And just because I am dyslexic and I can't remember, ProShar, Virtue, obviously Battle Creek, Bunker Kingston, obviously Immortal Air, for everything with Kings. And got a shout out to Image. Obviously, I was wearing the beanie this time, but I always wear the headband. And Tim, with their second place, I see it. Yes, TXSL. Because this was the event in which I really got to join the boys and be a part of this podcast. Got to give a shout out to James Gurley with Adrenaline because I've been using the guns. This is the one you didn't get to see much, but my blue one I got to see. Simon with Inception because the barrels are amazing, and then obviously having any barrel boom juice really does make it above and beyond, and just not a product plug, but a true thing. The one really great thing about when you get something boom juice is he heats up the metal and injects this material into it so that it fills all the pores that are within the metal. So if you actually break a ball and rather than having to squeegee your gun, 3 or 4 shots and you're right back to where you need to be. And I'm someone that carries 2 squeegees and I haven't had to do it by any means. Pep Escutia from the old Bob Lung's Iron Man, Avalanche when they were playing the Xball. He's got a company, Top Rank Innovations. I'm a Top Rank athlete at the event. I've been wearing the Top Rank Sprinter pants as well as the pack. Just great pants, great pack, all in general, great dude. So if you have any problems, or any questions, he's always getting back to you as quick as possible. I know, again, that's probably, so plug my own field, Route 40 Paintball Park, White Marsh, Maryland, 15, 20 minutes just north of Baltimore. Take care of your needs. Obviously, my handle is my name at Julian Whale, like Route 40 Paintball. You can find us everything. And, we're sponsored by Bunker Kings. We're also sponsored by
Check out the
Powerhouse
past
Rec,
episode he
who-
did.
Say it again.
Yeah,
I
you
said
missed
check
any
out the
difference
past
since
episode he
last
did.
episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a product person. Like, it's
For
to
showing
do
off
as
our
much
toys.
as I
I
can.
mean,
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I truly, I cannot wait to, see any of this things. And obviously, one of the biggest things, I think, biggest upgrades, besides having, great guns from Adrenaline and everything like that is, Caesar and those products, from Boom Juice and the Boom products are just really, they do make a difference. And it's not just, flaunting something because, I don't get anything to promote it or anything like that, but it really does make a difference. And not just to even play something a little bit more custom, is vintage paintball, because, we shoot these mechanical guns at times. And then vintage had one of the last two products, a little bolt knob that they put on top of the M170 or any pull plug. So just got to replace something. So it's a nice little add-on that, I got to show people off too. But in the end, I think beyond everything, just thankful for my dad Tommy and Team Image and every one of those guys, the old and the new. Because a lot of those guys I grew up under, and we were Twisted Image, and that's why I respect the Leverage guys truly, because you guys have developed a great program, and I say this in a loving way. Like, I hate everyone wants to try to beat you, and they want to be you at the same time. And when we were a 7-man team as Twisted Image, we were the exact same way. We just, rubbed it in your face, and you hated us, and you wanted to beat us. And when we got to beat you, loved to beat you with, to kind of go against a team that was like that and that same mentality. One of the things I do, and I give a shout, I'm good friends with Ali Lang and do a lot of programs with him. So you can always reach out to him, and he's got a lot of great, personal development programs. And that was one thing I was really trying to channel at that point in time. And I was in his zone for our game against Leverage. And that's why I'm throwing no shade. I was really surprised. It was like, oh, you never know how it's going to go and do a podcast like this. But everything was really, smooth sailing. So,
It's nothing but love at the end of the day.
Guys. 100%. We're not friends. We're not friends on the field. We're friends off the field, because you got to see someone in the pits, and when you're walking by, and world's too small to be negative. So that's where it was pleasant to be able to have this kind of interaction. And I don't know you guys from Adam and Eve, so just we're just continuing it all. Yeah, thank you very much, and obviously Waldo, Travis, TSXL. All the sponsors. I actually, with the A team, or B team rather, we've got our own A pants from Dizana that I honestly have only worn when reffing, because I just always wear my top rank gear. But it's just you're in good company with these guys, and everyone here in this group has actually been through something, and we've all made it out the other end, and thankful to be a part of it, and I'm sure we'll do this again.
oh hell yeah, we'll definitely be doing this again, man, for sure. Julian, thank you so much for the kind words. We want to thank all the listeners for sticking it out. This was a long episode. Everyone had a lot to say. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of these people back to get them more story. Shout out all our sponsors for helping us out with these. Shout out Cats for Podcasting. I see Steve's got his cats playing in the background. This is Isabel. Everyone, she was with us the whole time. And
Oswald and Yoshi, my boys.
Exactly. Shout out Cats for Podcasting. And thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll catch you guys all soon.